I know many of you have noticed how high your electric bills are. And it just seems like when the pandemic hit, the bills went up and they don't seem to be going down at all. So, and I know people have been questioning why their bills are so high. I sure notice it. All right. And they're saying next will be your heating bill. Mm-mm-mm. If air conditioning in your home felt expensive this summer, get ready because turning up the heat may cost even more this winter. I mean, these people don't do nothing but practice usury. They practice usury so heavily, and they have no shame about it either. They have no shame. And I was looking at another article, y'all, and it was talking about how rent is going up 14.6% in 2023. And a lot of people are saying for them, that's like an eviction because they're not going to be able to afford their rent. So if now you got rent going up and these high electric bills and they're just making it tougher and tougher for people to make it out here, and they don't care. We know they never care at all. So rising utility bills and being driven by the surge in price of natural gas, which generates about 40% of the United States electricity. The US Energy Information Administration expect this surge to last through the winter, given that Russia's invasion of Ukraine has reduced overall supplies while global consumption remains high. So y'all going to use a war that's not even happening in America as a reason for keeping electric and heating high. Mm-mm-mm. So here's what is behind the spike in prices and how it can impact you. They're claiming there is much less natural gas in the world these days because of Russia. So they're trying to blame the high bills in America on Russia. Trust me, if this war wasn't going on, they would try to use another excuse. For years, Russia supplied Europe with cheap natural gas to power its factories and heat its home. But after the West imposed sanctions for the war in the Ukraine, Russia slashed its supplies, effectively weaponizing its natural gas. Yeah, I know there's a great concern over Europe on how they're going to get through the winter, because Russia has a lot of power to switch things off if they really wanted to. And y'all remember what happened when they wanted to be paid in rubles and they'll shut you off if you refuse to do it. While the global supply has dropped, demand has remained high. In the US, half of the homes use natural gas for heating or cooling. Given how hot this summer was for parts of the US, many had their air conditioners working overtime. Yeah, well, if you're in triple digits or up in the 90s, yeah, you're going to need AC. It's kind of hard to be without it. I mean, people can tough it out. Many people have for years, but it's hard not to have your unit running. And, a lot of the country was in triple digits this summer. U.S. natural gas inventories have also dropped this year, which together has driven up prices around 300% from just a few years ago. What will this mean for prices in the US? Prices are expected to keep climbing, even though the country's inventory of liquid natural gas is low. This hasn't stopped the US from exporting large amounts to Europe to help fill the void left by Russia. US natural gas producers have an incentive to export since they stand to profit from the spike in global prices. if the prices they can get in Europe is a lot more than what they can sell their natural gas for in the US, some of that is going to be exported to Europe. So whoever pays us the most, that's who we're going to supply the most. This is going to raise the price of things in America, says Ellen Wall, gas and oil expert with the Atlantic Council. Not to the levels that we're seeing in Europe, but we could continue to see more expensive energy costs in the US because of this, she adds. There's also a geopolitical argument for stepping up supplies to Europe. The European Union is a huge trading partner, and major economic disruptions there could send aftershocks to the US. Mm-mm-mm. So they're saying bills will be going up, definitely. So bills could go up a lot, especially in states like Texas, which is the largest natural gas consuming state, followed by California. Mm-mm-mm. Well, that's not good news. That's not good news at all. So, the National Energy Assistance Director Association estimates that the average family may pay more than $1,200 to heat their homes this winter. That's $175 more than last winter, which is notable considering 40% of the families are already feeling financially strapped, according to new NPR, PBS NewsHour, Morris poll. The 40% of the US homes that use natural gas could see their winter heating costs increase by a third. Mm-mm-mm. So you're going to be dealing with that on top of the inflation because as soon as we get near the Gentile holidays, everything's going to go back up. Gas, food, everything out here is going back up. Wow. But much of this also depends on the winter weather. The US could be spared a massive spike if there's a mild winter. And there is going to be a winter colder in some areas, milder in others, if you looked at some of the maps recently. Now, much of the Midwest and the Northwest and the Northeast will see the worst brunt of the weather. And it may be drier and wetter in certain parts of the country. So it really depends on where you live. But, America's going to still make an excuse to keep your bills high regardless. That's how I see it. But, y'all, please tell me what you think about this story. Please leave your comment and subscribe. Don't forget to hit on the notification bell, and I'll see you on the next video. Peace, family.